She's an absentee landlord. She never comes around. She doesn't want to, face the facts that this community is going under. We are facing so many issues from prostitution, violent crime. Gangs are just taking over our streets, putting their tags up everywhere, and making things so uncomfortable for all of our community members.
We can't rely on rules with a rule breaker. And it really does mean that with a reality TV show president, that public opinion matters. So don't let them intimidate you into thinking that you're doing something wrong by telling people what their actual legal constitutional rights are. There's nothing wrong about it and there's nothing illegal about it. And if they want to make it illegal, they can come take it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. We got to talk about AOC again. Now, let's be real. AOC has become less of a lawmaker and more of a walking Instagram reel. She's got plenty of tweets, plenty of TikToks and sound bites, but when it comes to actual results for her district, crickets. You get nothing, nada. Now, this is the so-called champion of the working class. This is also the individual who tanked an Amazon deal that would have brought thousands of jobs to New York. And since then, it's been one virtue signal after another. For someone who claims to fight for the little guy, she sure spends a lot of time chasing cameras instead of crafting solutions. Now, they were on this quote-unquote tour of the oligarchy or whatever it was, but yet her and Bernie Sanders flying private, spending $15,000 an hour to fly around the country to tell middle-class people and poor people that the Republicans are your problem. You can't make this stuff up. And at the end of the day, AOC is all flash, no fix. And that's, you could probably say that about most Democrats. Let's get into the clip. Like, share, subscribe. Let go.
Republican candidate for New York City Council District 25, Ramses Frias, joins us now with what's really going on in AOC's district. Ramses, great to have you on. You're in the district. You know exactly what's happening there. She's just got back from this tour. She raised over $9.5 million in just 3 months. It's actually record-breaking, remarkable. I'm assuming this money is not coming from people in her district. Tell us what's happening inside the district. What's quality of life there like?
Well, quality of life in our district is just deteriorating. We have human trafficking, sex trafficking, prostitution, violent crime, and gangs that are taking over our streets. And it's just atrocious. We shouldn't have to go through this. The families that live here shouldn't have to go through what they see every single day. Children on their way to school have to walk by brothels with women soliciting in broad daylight. Just last night on my way back from where AOC had her town hall, there were at least 20 women on one block just lined up, ready and, grabbing men off the street.
Yeah, Ramsey, for our viewers to know, I've seen it firsthand. I've been in your district reporting. At 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 a.m., I saw women turning tricks. And you're right, little children walking by. It's not a way to live. It's unbelievable. And she calls it sex work. So she's normalizing it instead of trying to clean it up. Here's a montage of what when I spoke to some of the people in her district recently. Listen.
Ahí no te puedo decir porque no sé quién es él.
No.
¿No conoces ese nombre?
No conozco ese nombre.
I can't recall, no.
Entonces, en todo ese tiempo, yo no la he visto. Ni he escuchado de algún programa que ella tenga o que esté ayudando a la gente de aquí, de ese barrio. En verdad ella tiene su oficina, pero cuando uno va a buscar una ayuda a esa oficina de esos congresistas no te la dan. Pero ellos no hacen su trabajo en sí.
So they're saying she's not doing her job. We either don't know her or she's never in her office. We never see her here.
She represents two areas, the Bronx and Queens. And these areas are beautiful, full of life, full of cultured people that need help. Their lifestyle is just falling apart. And with her voice, she can do so much good, but doesn't use it for good. She came over to Jackson Heights last night and, she spoke out to the crowd, and the crowd that was there feels like they were placed. She acted like, you know, an entertainer. She was rushed out of the auditorium, and, you know, to where her car was outside, and didn't speak to anyone, didn't shake any hands. She's not here. You know, she's acting like just an entertainer, a rock star, flying around in private jets and not really caring about the issues that are affecting our constituents.
So she says she's fighting the oligarchy. It's fascinating, Ramsey. I'm surprised that there isn't anybody trying to challenge her, but I see with this big haul of money, it would be difficult indeed, but I'm really glad to hear that there's somebody like you who's out there running for city council and calling her out. So Ramsey's...
Wow. But that's the sad truth. It's the sad truth, man. But AOC's district is a disaster by design. Soft on crime police, policing, open borders, and endless awareness campaigns have turned Queens into chaos while the people beg for real solutions. We've already seen, you know, Operation Restore Roosevelt, that when you let law enforcement do their job, the streets can be cleaned up. But here's the kicker. Politicians like AOC, they don't want that. They'd rather, you know, cling to their progressive ideology than protect their communities. At the end of the day, it's not about safety for them, it's about power. And the people paying the price are everyday New Yorkers. And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But that's who the Democrat Party is. A lot of these Democratic-held districts are socialist experiments that have gone exactly how you would expect them to go. Hear me now. These socialist policies that they would like to implement all across the country, but they have implemented them in pockets around the country. When you look at areas that are, you know, heavily rely on the government through Section 8 and through WIC and through what do you call it? Food stamps or SNAP or whatever other those benefits that they get, that is, in Medicare, all the federal handouts, the subsidies that they give to these people, it's never enough to really thrive and get out of that situation and take care of yourself. It's just enough to survive. And everywhere in the country where these types of areas exist, these are some of the most unsafe places. They're some of the most dangerous places. They have the worst schools. They have the lowest marriage rates, the most out of wedlock births, the most pregnancy terminations. These are literally, basically, social hellholes more times than not. Can they be changed? Absolutely. But the people would have to be willing to vote people in that actually have their best interests at heart. They also have to be willing to come off of the government tee. They'd have to be willing to do that. And for a lot of people, it's very difficult to do. So what they would prefer is that you give them more, not understanding that if the government was to give them more, it would not change their situation. It wouldn't. But AOC is being exposed. But in some shape, way, form, or fashion, right now, she is the face of the Democrat Party. And for those of us on this side of things, I'm not too mad at that. I'm really not. I'm a firm believer. You let people talk long enough, they'll show you who they are. AOC is out here with Bernie. They're talking, and she is showing us that she cares more about people from other countries. She cares more about Ukraine, illegal immigrants, than she cares about her constituents, and definitely than she cares about the American people. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family. Or, you know, if you want to support the channel another way, buy your man a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. words so sharp.